So my mom will always share like, oh, actually emceeing is a good part-time. Engineering is a very stable, and why not do both, right? And she has a point. So every time I talk to them, I will always get, how to say, my mind will always change on some, okay lah, mom was right lah. Let's just stay in the company and whatnot, right? But I think it came to a point where, you know what, I just wanted to do it. So I went to the HR. Hey, can you give me the resignation form?
Hey everyone, before we begin this next episode of the Hello Mentor podcast, I just want to say, if you're job searching or hiring, check out hiredly.com. We are not just another job platform. We make it easier to find the jobs that people actually want, and we help companies stand out to hire the right talent. So there's a lot of smart tech and there's a lot of human touch. That's Hiredly. So you can head to hiredly.com and give it a go. Hey everyone, another episode of our Hello Mentor podcast today. We have Chris MJ with us. Hi Chris, aka Chris the Chindian.
Hello. Thanks so much, Jerry, for having me.
Yeah, I mean, we've crossed paths many times.
Yes.
So I'm really excited to kind of dive deep on your career. I know, you know what? Let's start with can you maybe introduce yourself a bit?
Yes, sure. First of all, thanks so much, Derek, and Highly for having me on this podcast, Hello Mentor. My name is Chris MJ. On Instagram or social media is Chris the Chindian lah. Okay, so that's just the social media handle. What I do, I'm a content creator / TV host / event MC. So that's what I do for a living.
Content creator / TV host / wow, that's a lot of things.
Yeah. Yeah. Not just one thing lah. Nowadays got so many things. Former engineer. We will get deeper into that later.
Oh, I'm so curious. Let's dive in now. Because from my understanding is you were a mechanical engineer. I think you're working for Sony or something,
yes,
right, in your early career.
Correct.
Yeah. Please share with us that leap from the time you're working as an engineer and deciding to come out and do something else. So,
for context, I studied master's degree in mechanical engineering, Nottingham University. So that is the Seminary campus. So I think upon graduating, I always wanted to do something related to mass comm. Okay, but my mom, always wanted me to be something professional because SPM you got straight A's ma, so you should do something professional. So anyway, yes, Sony was my first job as a fresh graduate. So I was working in the Bangi R&D building. So it's just next to the factory. Actually, we drive on the north-south highway. You might be able to see on the left-hand side, there's a big Sony building. Right. So my job was, I was an optical design engineer. So what we would do is we would work on R&D for the Sony Bravia television. So every year we would launch a new product. So that was what I was doing for 3 years.
Oh, I actually didn't even realize that Sony does the R&D here. Right?
Yes, they do. So Japan got, and then Malaysia also got. So, if you watch your TVs, right, it's actually a backlight system inside. So there's LED inside there, then there's sheets and stuff. So my job would be to kind of study the optimal performance of what brightness can this achieve? Is the light distributed evenly? Yeah, so that's what I was doing.
You're fairly smarter than me. I don't think I figured that out.
It's very technical.
Right. But how long were you doing this?
I was doing this for 3 years. So, for 3 years. And then, so what was happening is I started emceeing in uni itself. So I was doing clubs and societies. And I never knew this was a job. I never knew the emceeing was a career actually. So, when I started working as an engineer, I found a way to kind of find a side hustle as a part-time MC lah. So on the weekends I would MC, then on the big days I would engineer lah. And so it came to a point after 3 years, I think it was right after MCO, everything, events just shut down and you were slowly picking back up, I guess. And I was just finding something to do. I was really trying to run away from engineering lah. Okay, it didn't feel like my full calling. That was one thing I was feeling. So then I think 2021, I decided to just, let's just resign and focus on my passion, which is emceeing, speaking for a living, full time. So I'm just imagining like if I went to the office 9 to 5, Mondays to Fridays, getting stuck in the jam for 1.5 hours. I was just curious, what if I put all this time into my craft? What would happen? So that's when I decided to take the leap. So it was like 2021. I remember it was May the 4th. That was the last day of work.
But did you have some kind of conversation with your parents about it? Or like, I don't know, because it seems like such a big switch though.
It's very abrupt, yeah. It was always on my mind, and whenever I talked to my parents about it prior to actually resigning, they wouldn't agree lah. I mean, they would, so my mom would always share like, oh, actually MCing is a good part-time, engineering is, is a very stable, and why not do both, right? And she has a point. So every time I talk to them, I will always get, how to say, my mind will always change on something. Okay lah, mom was right lah. Let's just stay in the company and whatnot, right? But I think it came to a point where, I just wanted to do it. So I went to the HR. I said, can you give me the resignation form? she says, like, oh, sure, okay. She gave me the paper. So you need to fill in, in like big MNCs, you need to fill in all these forms one. Then I went to my boss, can chop like this one. Then my boss was like, whoa, wait, what's happening? Wait, come, let's have a chat. He brought me to a meeting room aside and stuff like that. I had to explain to him. But no, I did not tell my parents.
Oh.
I was very, very scared to tell my parents because I knew if I tell them, they can change my mind on. Parents lah, they know, they have their way and I really take their, their feedback and opinion very heavily in my heart lah. So I didn't want to tell them because I didn't want to scare myself out of this decision. So, kind of long story short, I had to serve a 2 months notice. I didn't tell them the whole 2 months, and just for context, this one was during CMCO, I'm not sure. So everyone was kind of working from home. So even if I already lost my job or resigned, they kind of wouldn't know because work from home, I could just pretend I'm doing something else, So like that lah, but it came to a point where I actually had to tell them lah. And I was actually very surprised with the reaction that I got from my parents when I told them. So, that's a whole long story. If we got chance to get into it, we got time, we'll get into that later.
Because then I think that it might be interesting to a lot of people is because, Asian culture, I think a lot of us are very, more family oriented. As you say, you take their opinions very heavily sometimes.
Yes.
And I think, but as individuals, there might be people who are trying to break out of that a little bit, and they're probably like, how do I handle this?
Yeah. Okay, so looking back, right, in retrospect, what I'm seeing right now is that why do parents do this? Is because they love you or they are worried. Asian, where they came from was in a time where there was no such thing as emceeing for a living, right? Not so common lah. Social media wasn't a thing. So they're not so exposed to all these kind of things. All they knew was doctor, engineer, lawyer, accountant, good jobs, right? Very stable. And because their peers today, if you look at them, they're currently like top specialist doctors, right? And then they have a big house, their family is studying overseas. So to my parents, I guess that was like a metric of success lah, stability, right? So I mean, I understand where they were coming from as well. But so when I decided to tell them that I resigned, and then 2 months notice was up already lah, so there's no turning back, okay? My dad, no, he was just very quiet. So we were having dinner, on the table or at home. Then my mom was just folding clothes. Then she just like speechless, never say anything. And I'm like, okay. Mommy's quiet. That's scary. Then my dad was washing the dishes. Then my dad started laughing. I said, Pa, why you laughing, Pa? He said, I knew this day would come lah. He said like that. You are really my son. He said like that. Because I knew actually in my heart, for some reason, Papa knew that you will never end up as an engineer in the future. But, as a father, I had to give you the best, so I wanted to give you the best degree we could give you. And now that you have already graduated, the ball is in your court. As long as you don't forget your family and your values, we will still support, we still love you. But my dad said this, that I still remember till today. This was like 4 years back already. He said, but I know, Papa knows in my heart that in this industry, you will fly one day. He said, you will fly. I cried, it's teared down, I broke down. There was a whole Kabhi Kushi Kabhi Gum scene, like this famous Hindi movie, so Hakim and all that. So from that moment on, there was no excuses, there was no reason for me to like blame other people, point fingers, my parents never support me, this and that. Actually, they do encourage me. So, but time and time, my mom would still like whisper here and there engineering is still your full time, this MCing can be part time. So this was before content. This was before content creation. I had no like viral videos, everything like that. So I was just trying to focus on my MCing career.
Right. No, and actually I have two questions related to this, right? I mean, from a letting go point of view, because let me put it this way, I don't think it's so easy to get the education that you did, such a technical education. I mean, you need to be qualified for it and then you need to actually get the degree, aside the master's, right? And then you go into a very reputable company and you work there for 3 years. Like, this is a lot of time and money spent. Yeah. And to just let it go to become I'm not saying anyone can be an MC, but there's no technical qualification to be an MC, right? You need to let go of this. But isn't that such a wild kind of decision?
Yeah. It is the degree that, my parents, they really, they paid for me. Nottingham degree is not cheap. It's a private uni. I think it was about 40K per year, the kind of thing. So it definitely, until today, right, I'm so grateful for my parents, because, sometimes I hear all these like younger, I feel so uncle now. Okay. So the younger generation, or like newer,
you're saying the younger generation.
The younger generation. Okay. I hear people saying that, I want to chase my dreams. I want to pursue my passion, and then I want to, start my own business. Sometimes it's just a reminder for myself, and I hope for everyone who is also feeling like this, right? That we can only have this luxury, right? Because your parents work hard for it. Like my parents had to, hustle. Both of my parents were working parents, and then they worked for so many years, and my mom, imagine my mom, she got 3 kids, right? So I'm the eldest son, and I got 2 younger sisters. So all of us finished school at different times. She has to fetch my sister at this time. Then I'm like, come out of a meeting, she has to fetch me after Coco, stuff like that. So what I'm trying to say is that they have given their best for me, and that the fact that I can even pursue this or try to let go also, or explore some other options, is really because of them. But of course it was not easy. It's not scary. It's quite scary. I didn't even dare to tell them at first. But I'm grateful that they had some sort of understanding where I needed to go or what I needed to try. However, I also told myself that, hey, I'm giving myself like a, if it doesn't work out, because my boss also, when I left, he told me, he said, if you ever need to come back, just let us know. So the company was not like toxic or anything. I had a good bosses, I had a good team, it was a good company culture, and it was so good that it made it harder to leave, you see. They were sending me on business trips, it's really very good, it's like I was learning so much. So it wasn't like a bad job, it was just that I wanted to try to pursue something else, Right. So that was the challenge, actually.
Right. Oh my God, there's quite a decision. And at the time, I mean, my sort of second question related to that is like, I would imagine, again, I'm not so familiar with how the world of MCs work, but I suppose there is no, you kind of book by gigs on, right? So, so you're not, right? So there's no, you're not going, you probably don't have a predictable income stream.
Yeah. Don't have.
Right.
It's very gig based, very freelance.
Right.
So I think that was why my parents also were very worried, right? It's a very unstable kind of career, and I think what I was trying to do was, I was thinking to myself, if I don't try now, then when will I ever try? That's the kind of mentality I was having, So in terms of MCing, what I was doing was I was focusing on building my branding. So I started working on my website, secretly in my home office. So I built a website, and then I was still doing content, actually. Okay, so at that time, I started my own like talk show on YouTube called the Kaba Bayi Show. So it was like a good news channel, good news show. So this was during, after work, I'll come back and I'll just go home in my room, I'll set up my studio and I'll shoot. So I'll do this for every week, at once a week for 1 year plus already.
I see.
Yeah. So that didn't really like go viral or anything, but it did help open up conversations lah, right? As a host. So, a lot of people it was quite a dumb move lah, to be honest lah, because when you leave, it was like MCO time. So events also were like kind of, you know what I mean?
Right.
So why did I even decide to make that jump during that season?
Right.
I just felt like I say lah again, I had this one to try lah. If not now, when? So then I started doing that, and I have to share that. Thankfully, within that 3 months, right, of just quietness and building my branding, so what I was doing is try to create content, do some videos here and there, build up my website as my profile, and thankfully I managed to secure like an audition for NTV7. So they were looking for hosts for their program, and then I just went to audition, and but the challenge was this is full BM, and I'm not used to that, you know.
Okay.
I just went lah, where I try, and thankfully managed to get the gig. So that gave me a bit of that stability and security, knowing that okay, because that was a contract base ma.
Right.
So at least I got some income there.
Right. So it's a full BM.
Full BM. Full BM. So I had to it was quite bad lah. My first few episodes quite embarrassing lah. But like for example, so it was an educational show. It's called D-Day TV. Right. It was an educational program. So the teacher will come, and then the host will kind of facilitate the tutorial or conversation lah. Yeah. Full BM.
Right.
I just had to do lah, because I had no income already at that time. I had some events here and there, but just to find something to get started, right? So this was, and I thankfully we managed to get the gig, and that gave me that, I would say another platform,
right?
Or it's like a stepping stone as well lah, that to launch into this hosting industry,
Right.
And that helped to, I think I was doing that for about 2 years, yeah. So at least there's a retainer there lah.
Right. So when you started the Kaba Bite show, it was you meant it for like personal branding to get you MC gigs and stuff like that. Was that your original intention?
Actually, I just did that because during MCO, everyone was stuck at home, right? And I think there was a lot of bad news and negativity circulating around. And I just felt like, hey, you know what? What if there was a news show to just focus on the good news? So then I just started doing that. So I did it because I just love creating content one.
Right.
I never saw it as it's a business, or I want to build my brand as an MC. Not really. I just wanted to build something. I always had this dream of being the Jimmy Fallon of Malaysia . Yeah. So I thought I'll wear a suit, and then I'll do this kind of thing and stuff like that.
Oh wow, I love it.
Yeah. So I self-taught myself how to edit. I started editing. Actually, just for some context, I started creating content back in uni days. So it was very cringe. I actually archived all these videos on YouTube already. I wanted to be like this fitness YouTuber. So I'll vlog, I'll carry my camera around. Hey guys, so today, right, okay, so we're gonna hit the back and biceps, I record my workouts and stuff. Yeah. They never really took off, thank God lah. Oh, thankfully it took off, it's fine lah, yeah.
No, but the price of admission sometimes is being willing to do all this for cringe stuff lah, right? Like you look back, you might think it's very cringe now. By the time someone had to do it, you had to do it, right?
That was where I learned. That's where I learned how to edit videos, how to hold the camera, how to speak, through the camera. So that was where all the skills picked up lah.
Yeah.
Only apply to today lah. We can't kind of see the fruits today lah.
I mean, now you look back, you say that, you want to remove it. But at the time, I suppose it was a very brave, bold, risky move, but you needed to take that move.
Just to try lah. Yeah.
To try, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because I mean, on this particular point, I feel sometimes, a lot of reasons why people don't make big decisions is not so much that maybe they don't have the capability or what. I think it's mostly the fear of how they're seen like that, right?
Yeah.
You have to look silly for a while, right?
Correct. I mean, that is the the price of admission so you just have to do it lah, right? Because I mean, we're talking about putting yourself out there, even emceeing, you have to speak on the stage in public, right? So is this something so for me, I actually feel very natural on the stage when I speak in front of people. So I think that was why I wanted to pursue this career as well. And then because it was very natural for me lah. And then engineering was good, but it wasn't like fulfilling my 100% potential, I felt lah. So I just wanted to try it. No, waste lah.
Right. Okay. So, MC, you started YouTube, then you got like a TV host gig. When do you start going into social media, like really full on?
Yeah. So, like, I want to bring back to what you shared earlier about how it's very unpredictable, right? So, there was a time, I think right after, so I got this TV hosting gig, and that was big, and I thought like, okay, I made it. Yes, I'm a TV host, you know, like I'm doing this it's my dream job. Okay, I was doing that. And then, I think I got to work with Lazada. So they kind of hired me to be like their live stream host. So during the MCO, after that, like live stream was a very big thing. So it was a once a week gig. So that was like a contract gig as well. So at least got some retainer there. So all this, right, was very good for me. I was very comfortable already. I was like, yes, okay, I'm growing here. And suddenly after, I think 1 or 2 years, they just stopped the contract. They said, oh, we don't need the Lazada. They said, oh, we are not doing live stream anymore. So then they just cut the contract. Okay, gone. Boom, one retainer gone. Then the TV gig, they didn't continue the program. So then I didn't have suddenly, I'm like, hey, no job, yeah. Yeah, only freelance events lah, like, you know, like physical events and whatnot. But then I got a bit worried. I was like, wait, like, if I were to just solely rely on events, you never know when you will book a gig, right? So that can be quite scary. And at the time I was getting married already and stuff like that lah. So I was like, okay, how? Okay, never mind. But it was during that season where I had nothing to do. So again, it's like that quiet season, right? When there is a low, what do you do with your time? So for me, what I did was, I went back to what I enjoy doing, which is creating content. So I just took out my camera, my phone, put up a tripod. I was at home. I had this idea brewing in my mind for the past 3 months. I was like, you know, I always see my dad, after he eat at a Chinese restaurant, he like to look at the receipt and then he will analyze the receipt. Must check when, oh, okay, you ordered this dish, or how much is the fish, okay, like to, I think it would be quite funny on a skit, you know, if I can just do that, you know, we mimic that, you know. So and it was always in my mind, but I never really executed. So that one day, because I was so free, I had no more work already, I just took out the tripod, and that was the first video that kind of blew up, like viral lah.
Right.
So I mimicked my dad. I acted like an uncle at the Chinese restaurant. Then that video kind of got that ball rolling. I was like, oh, there's something here. And I just continued doing more of these skits, the chit-chat noise and all that. And so that is how it kind of got the ball rolling. And at the same time, I actually went for my pre-wedding photo shoot. Okay, so while that video started, now the pre-wedding photo shoot, my photographer friend, he was like, Chris, you know, you can talk to people, right? You're not shy to talk in public and all that. Actually, why don't you do street interviews lah? You just go out to people, go and ask one guy to record for you. You just go ask people questions lah. Then you just use that for your content. You can build there. So that was how the street interview started lah. Like studio on the street. That's where the idea came about. I was like, you know what? Yeah, let's do it, man. So then I just straight away went home, open up Canva, go and design the logo, everything. Studio, I thought it was the new studio on the street. Okay, let's do it. So then that's how. So my wife would hold the camera for me, and then we would go to let's say we go to public events. I said, babe, you just hold the record. Let's ask you some questions lah. So that's how it started lah. So then that is where how content started from my chat noise videos and also the street interviews.
Right. I'm very curious about street interviews because obviously, I mean, highly we sometimes we do street interviews and stuff. That my sense of and maybe please correct me if I'm wrong. I think I also see a lot of American content. They do street interviews and it seems like I mean, the people will share a lot of stuff. I don't know whether in Malaysia people are they more shy? Is it harder to get someone willing to do a street interview? Like how do you manage that?
Yeah, I think. I'm not sure, but because we always see like Americans or like Ang Mo, they're very vocal, right?
Yeah.
I think Malaysians they are quite shy lah. You know, it was very, very challenging also to kind of like, excuse me, can I ask you some questions? You know, then you'll be like, what's this about? You know, are you going to post? Post, I don't want, you know. Or you're going to record, I don't want. You know, so it was that you get a lot of rejections lah. So there was a lot of rejections, and then we had to like just thick face, just a thick face, and I think this is where the hosting element comes in. So you got to make them feel warm, feel welcome, feel comfortable. So you don't just go and shove the camera in their face first. You kind of talk to them first, ask them, what are you doing here today? Are you here with your family? Then warm them up a bit. Then only they are like, oh, so by the way, I'm actually doing like this street interview. I'm asking people this question. Would you be down to do it? So that's how I kind of do it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, just to warm them up a bit.
Right.
Yeah.
Even that seems hard. I mean, like,
It's tough. It is.
for them to even stop and let you warm them up.
Yeah, it's very, very tough because like just to find people in the street, right, is I think even for me is so like daunting, But what I noticed is that once you find one person to start, and then the momentum kind of kicks in, like other people will start looking like, hey, what they're doing there is they're recording some street interview, then maybe, and then they start walking past, and then they start looking, and then once you make eye contact with them, I'm like, you want to join? You want to join? But they're shy, They're shy.
Right. No, I understand what you're saying. So once they see someone else doing it, they feel safer to do that, right?
I think so. Yeah, I feel so. Yeah.
Right.
But you talk to them first, You don't just like ask the camera guy to straight away start recording. It's good to warm them up first,
Right.
Then only ask permission. Ask permission. That's the street interview 101, Get consent first.
Right. Yeah, whereas the cold start is probably quite hard. I mean, like, there are people like
you can. But actually, there's another series I do on on the street interviews as well. It's called like rent how much. So my friend and I, we actually go around and ask people how much you pay for rent. So this one lagi, imagine then we will ask them, can we tour your house? Wah, this one lagi susah, very, very difficult, because I mean, come on, privacy, right? Because we saw this guy doing it in New York, and it seemed like, oh, it's cool, how much you pay for rent in New York? Then they go and tour apartments, right? And we were just thinking like, let's try it in Malaysia, So that's how the ideas came about. But the to get started was very, very challenging,
Right.
But we just had to do So I started first. I'm the first guest,
Right.
So I toured my house, and then like try to ask our friends, and then one day we just asked one random student, I think in SF15, Taylor's his student accommodation. He was like from China, no. He said, yeah, sure, come. We explained to him, we want to do this video for TikTok, and all that. Then he said, yeah, sure, come. His student accommodation, messy, like normal only, like nothing fancy. That video blew up. So then that's how the momentum started. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Then after that, people started inviting us also, Then I would DM people also, like sometimes I see like nice home videos, and I just DM them. Or we go on the street and ask.
Right. I'm so curious too, because it does sound like you try different styles of content, and some work. I suppose some work, some don't work, and some blow up very fast, right? How does it feel constantly having to chase that virality? Does it feel a little bit like that?
Yeah. I feel like in terms of content creation, right, this industry, it's very important to know why you are starting this. It's very important to first build that foundation, right? Of like, hey, why am I creating these videos? Why am I doing this? Why am I sharing this story? Because if your main goal is to make money, you will burn out. This is what applies for me Because I never started all of this thinking that I will be able to make it a career. I just started this because I enjoyed doing it. It was like something that I had fun doing, right? So back to your question about like chasing that virality, okay. So of course viral videos help, right? When you get a viral video and then suddenly you get followers, and then you build up your audience. But then what? What's next, right? How do you continue this? Is there a niche that you want to build? Is there like a trend that you have started? So I try not to chase the virality per se If the video it goes viral, perfect. It's a bonus. But what I'm trying to chase, right, is that consistency of like being able to create content that adds value to my audience, to people watching, and then that they will share and stuff like that. So, but if let's say, how to say, like anything can be viral, Like if you do something, so what kind of viral videos are we talking about? You know, if you are talking about funny, you're talking about, you do something controversial, can be viral also. So, but if you are a new content creator out there, you're thinking how to start, right? If this is how you want to start, like I would say it's like a shortcut. Like, talk about something controversial, be like, make fun of people and stuff like that. I don't know. You can go, let's say you go viral, then what? Are you going to continue roasting people? You know, you have to think about all this also.
Right.
Yeah. But of course, for me, the views are very, how to say, it's a metric. We shouldn't see the views. I feel we shouldn't just look at the views as your only metric of success for content creator. Actually, there's a lot of things to take into account as well. So for me, I would love to post consistent videos of, like, let's say, lower views, rather than posting one viral video and then after that you never post already, you know, or you don't know what to post after that. So that's how I see it.
Right. Like, you got a process of, like, consistently posting and creating content.
Yeah.
Right.
But I think, like, it can be very tiring, you know, if we are, that's why I said when we start, right, you need to know why you start.
Right.
Because if you're starting for fame, or you want to just build that viral branding, be viral, like, what is viral? You know, you need to understand what is we have to dig deeper. Why you want to be viral?
Right.
What is that message you're trying to share? Right. You know, you cannot just be like, I want to be influencer. I don't want to work 9 to 5. I don't want to go to office. I want to be my own boss. But you gotta ask yourself the bigger questions, right? Even if you get like millions of views, how are brands going to reach out to you? Do you know how to talk to brands? Do you know how to network with clients? How are you going to, do you know how to charge accordingly? How to build your portfolio? Yeah, stuff like that. So a lot of things to talk about.
Right. Yeah. And because you are like a mechanical engineer, I'm guessing you are trained to be analytical, right? Logical, and that's your training, right? Let's say that. And do you think about the algorithm a lot? Like, do you naturally figure out, hey, how does this algorithm work? How come this work? How that work? Do you analyze it in that way?
Yeah, I got to give a shout out to my mom, because my mom always told me to study engineering, because she said one day, even if you don't do engineering, you can still apply all the skills. So it's true. Like, in engineering, we learn a lot of analytical skills and problem solving skills. So I think even in my content creation work, I apply a lot of that. So, like, okay, I analyze, why does this video do better than another video, right? So stuff like this. So for example, for me, what I've learned is, like, the hook is very important, the first 3 seconds. So I'll analyze why this video, right, why this video only got this kind of views, but this video actually is more fun, but maybe it got lower views than that. I wonder why. So then I come to notice after analyzing both, is like, okay, the first 3 seconds is very important. Maybe people swipe away already. So how can you capture your audience, the attention span, right? First 3 seconds apparently is like, that's what I saw on social media as well. So they said the first 3 seconds is the hook. Right. So for example, it is how much you pay for rent series as well. The hook is the amount. So that's a very big hook. So it's like, how much you pay for rent IKEA? So when someone says, I pay 2,000 a month. So at least at the start of the video, people already know, this is 2,000 ringgit a month kind of house that they're going to tour. Right. So that they'll watch . Right. Instead of hiding instead you just, for example, I wouldn't introduce start a short form video. I'm talking about short form videos right now. So I wouldn't start a short form video saying, hi guys, my name is Chris. So today we're going to be checking out, say people just
lost them already.
Yeah. So it's stuff like this, I guess, we analyze.
I see. Yeah. And so you figure out if someone just announced the amount they pay as rent, that is enough to get the audience curious.
Curious, yeah. How can you intrigue that curiosity, right? So that's why even at the start, sometimes we cut down the video to a point where it's not too draggy, just to bring that rent amount come out, and then we can tour their house.
Right.
Yeah.
But the work of content creation is also like a creative process, right? So I wonder, do your two worlds collide sometimes, the logical you and the creative you?
I'm actually more I feel more creative compared to logical. I mean, that's maybe my personality trait.
Right.
Maybe that's why I didn't really feel I belonged in engineering okay. So I always think of these big ideas and big dreams, and I was just like, hey, let's do this. Hey, we can try this. Oh my gosh. And then my wife, so just for some context, my wife is my manager. So she's working, we are a team.
Right, so it's my wife.
Yeah, but
Even kind of manager.
yeah, my wife, same manager lah. So she would be, she's very realistic on, she's like, hey, no, listen, we have to think again, how about this, what if this happens, so she will kind of like bring me back down a bit. So I don't really see myself like being the analytical side is there, but I will use that as well. But I will actually focus more on the creative side of things lah. Because there's so many things you can do today. Like, your phone everyone can be a content creator, That's why I feel like it's so, the threshold to get into this is you just need a phone, right? And then you just need to start recording, and it's so many editing apps nowadays. But yeah, I think what is lacking is the creative side of things, right? So what can you create? What kind of video ideas that you have? So these are very precious.
Right. Well, interesting. So you feel you're naturally more creative, but you were trained to be logical.
Yes.
Right.
I was trained to be logical. I wanted to study mass comm, actually. My mom didn't let me. She say you got good results, you must study something professional lah, my mom Asian parents lah, Asian thinking is different lah. Yeah.
Right. And so back to the I guess the monetization bit, if you like. I mean, ultimately, when you create all this content and all that, right? You need to feed yourself.
Right, correct.
So how do you figure out how to engage with the brands? And are there also, have you ever rejected a brand? What's your philosophy to this?
Yeah. So I think earlier when I mentioned why you have to know why you start this, right? So this will actually help later on once you are able to monetize your content, get brand deals and whatnot, because this is where the important part comes in, is when you need to know what kind of brands you want to work with, what kind of message you want to share, what kind of ads you can do. So how we monetize is like, how we started was brands will start reaching out via email or they will DM. They were, hey, we have a campaign going on, we love for you to create a video. And so at the beginning, it was very challenging to you just start, we don't know how to charge. Because I think in this content creation, there is no, there is no standard rate. Maybe there is a template that you can follow, but it then depends on your engagement also. It depends on followers, and there's so many variables okay. But how we managed to monetize is that we just continued churning out the consistent content, adding value, trying to improve our videos every day. And so that will reach people. And so you start getting agencies reaching out, and that's how you can kind of get your brand deals lah. And then this is where the manager will start coming in. So previously I would handle all this, right? And then I have to reply on WhatsApp, and then while I'm shooting a video, and then there was there's not enough brain space for me. So that's why I had to expand my team to, hire other people as my wife lah, Right. So she will help to do all that, the scheduling, the organize. There's a lot of behind the scenes okay? But so that's how we would get brand deals. And then there were times where we have to say no also to certain brands, because, for example, they already have an idea in mind. It's like, Chris, we want you to do this kind of video. But for me, I'm like, no, that's not my kind of style, or not something that I'm used to creating, right? So it may not resonate with my audience. So I said, then I had to push back. I had to counter propose, can I do something like this? If they don't want, then I will have to politely decline lah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And there was once, so I gotta share with you the brand. There was a brand. That time we just started our street interviews and all that, the house tours. And suddenly we started getting these inquiries for partnerships. And I was very happy. I was like, oh wow, finally we can monetize and grow this career, right? And then but this brand was this app. There was it's like a sugar daddy app lah. So it's like an app for you to find sugar daddies or sugar mummies. And then I was like, so they wanted to promote the app lah, okay? And we could do like a nice house tour, very grand, luxurious house tour. And we know that if we do this, sure viral one. Sure can get a lot of views one. Because it's a very nice house, like luxurious, right? But then we were thinking, then you have to start asking yourself, like, what image are you trying to portray out there? Like, what kind of brands do you want to work with? So my wife is always she's always the wise one, the wiser one. Yeah, I was like, if they can pay us, it's good, it's money, right? But then she's like, hey babe, you gotta think also, like, is this the kind of, first of all, you don't use this app, right? Secondly does this even align with your values? So yeah, we turned them blah blah.
Right.
And then the guy keep trying to convince us, he's like, guys, no, if you do this right, show viral one, it's very good one. And so you see, it's like, when you need to understand that virality isn't just the only thing you should be chasing,
Right.
It's more than that. It's a bigger picture. I'm here to play the long game. I want to be a content creator for the next 10 to 15 years, okay? It's not like just like 1-2 years and then I fizzle out and probably some other trend will catch up. No, that's why we're trying to think of fresh ideas lah.
Right. So it's like, obviously it's important to have like good virality in a way right? And also aligns with your persona,
correct?
Right? And your brand image and all that, right?
Is the image very important? And I think if we don't, I think if there are other people, if there are people listening and watching and they're thinking, trying to start building this branding, right? If you start right early, it's easier later on, like where it's like when you build, it's better for you. You don't feel conflicted with yourself. You know your values, and then you just grow from there lah. You will find the right clients lah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And in terms of because it's so difficult to content keeps changing, the world is changing very fast, and then do you ever get any kind of I'm not sure it's the right word, like a career anxiety like that, always having to keep up.
Yes.
So what will you be able to keep up in 5 years? 2 years, 3 years? Does it worry you?
Yeah, of course it does lah. I mean, every day there's this little thought in my head. What if we don't? How long can we do this for? What's next for us? How do we? So there's always that anxiety there lah. I think it's very normal. I think that's the, how to say, there's always that, when you do something freelance, right, whether you're a photographer or videographer or MC, there's always that thought one, because you don't know you don't know whether next month how much can you earn, maybe some months, maybe there's no events at all, you don't do anything, or there's no campaigns and whatnot. So there are certain, how to say, certain seasons where as a content creator, you may not have jobs or campaigns. So, how I deal with this is, number one is, I think I don't put too much pressure on the content creation part. So I try to, that's why I'm also a host, that's why I have my emceeing side of things. So when we have all these other streams of income, at least it's just more diversified lah. And when you don't put that pressure on the content, then your content is more organic, it's more fresh. You don't burn out from it, you see. If I was solely focusing on content, then maybe the game might be different already, because I'll be pressured to take jobs that maybe doesn't even align to my values, or even work with brands at a cheaper, maybe, they give me super, ask for discount lah, this and that. I'll just probably take it because I'm desperate. So at least I would advise for others to, if we do want to kind of start content creating, right, it's good to have more than one thing going on. So it doesn't have to just be content creator, full stop, It can be something like, if you have a passion in photography, build that freelance side of things, and then it also works hand in hand, because it's just branding for each other. Yeah.
Right. And
so that's how I deal with it lah.
Right. And the contents of it doesn't always have to directly generate income. You can build a brand for you to do other things
Yeah. So I feel like when we think of content as a way to, it's just a creative outlet for you, rather than thinking of, I'm doing this because I need to make money. So that immediately the anxiety shifts already one. There's no pressure on the content already.
Right.
So all of my house tours, right? So sometimes Actually, the house tours are organic one. No, we don't. There's no way to charge for it. It doesn't make sense for me to go to a house and be like, hey, you have to pay me. It doesn't make sense lah. So we just do it because we love sharing all this and sharing this, meeting new people. So there's immediately the pressure is off. And then I can be like, I just doing it because I love doing it. And the brands that align with our values and they like watching these videos. And then, Chris and John, do you guys want to do something together? Let's see how we can work together. Right. So the anxiety isn't there. I mean, that's how I deal with it.
Right. And I think for those people who are very curious, right? I mean, I hear different things, I hear that, like content creators, influencers, so I do make so much money, and then you hear people saying, it's actually very hard to make money. So which one is it, you think?
I think if you okay, easy or hard, okay, there is definitely a market in content creation. What I'm noticing is that ever since I started content creation, suddenly my content creation arm is my main job, MCing is like my part-time now. It's very funny because I always thought like MCing would be my most stable one, and then content creation is like on the side lah, right? But we have built the content in such a way that the brand in such a way that today that is this is my main income stream, actually, my main job. Yeah. So I think digital marketing has huge potential out there for campaigns and all that. I think that's why you see more and more creators out there, new creators also building, and you can see them doing more ads. But you need to start. You need to start right lah. Because honestly, there's a lot of ads out there. There's a lot of campaigns out there that you can do now. There are a lot of platforms out there as well that connect creators to brands as well, and you can join. It's like an app, and then you can see what promotion you want to what campaign you want to take on. But how to say? Yeah, I'm definitely earning more than I did in engineering lah. So that is a good thing, and because I'm at the same time I enjoy doing what I do. So definitely it's a path that people should explore, because for me, I saw content creation as a way to build my branding as a host. Then you will be like work hand in hand. They'll be like, oh, this guy, I said, oh yeah, he can MC our event also lah, So it was like a hand in hand kind of thing. Not just I want to be a content creator to earn.
Yeah. Right. Got it. And so your source of income obviously come, let's say as a content creator, your brands that sponsors, something like that, right? But because like YouTube and TikTok also pay, right, for content?
No, so that's the thing. In Malaysia, right, TikTok doesn't pay you for your views on.
Oh, they don't?
YouTube does. So you can kind of like, once you hit a certain metrics and whatnot, YouTube will pay. But honestly, the YouTube source of income isn't our main one. So it's not that much. So because unless you're Mr. Beast level, right, it's different lah, right? But so I would say in content creation in the Malaysia, based on my experience in Malaysia lah, how does it work? How it works is that you partner with brands. So brands would normally engage agencies, and then agencies will find their own creators lah, or to hire. So usually creators will have their own rates. So they will, okay, so let's say the deliverables is I need you to post one IG reel. So how much is, what is your rate for that? So then if the budget allows, and then if the client selects you, and then, so that's why I think like when you need to think of content where no one else can copy, you know what I mean? Like, what is your flavor, what is your unique style of content that people or clients will be like, hey, I want to do this kind of stuff. I want to do this kind of videos. Yeah. Rather than just being, you can just do your like vlogs and whatnot, lifestyle videos. But what I'm trying to say is that you need to know what is your identity as a creator. So what is the message you want to share, so that it's more sharp, right? It's more to the point. People know what you're saying. People will know that brands will know that, okay, I want this kind of message from this campaign. So then they will find you, they will request for you, stuff like that lah. So that's how we monetize lah. How we work with brands.
Right. Got it.
So campaigns and all that lah.
I see. And if like I'm gonna ask like an Asian Baron question. So yeah. If they're like their child say, I want to quit being an engineer or an accountant one day, I want to be a content creator, and they're worried that their child is better, as in like the money they make from a professional job is going to be more, right? Is that worry valid, or actually they don't have to worry?
The worry is definitely valid. I think it's very unpredictable, right? You don't know how many campaigns you can work on in a month, so you never know. But I would say if we can really do it right, if we can really build that brand right, there's nothing to worry about. Because I mean, I'm not sure. I don't know whether I speak for others, but for myself, we have been blessed, and I'm very grateful that the clients that we work with, they come back for future campaigns as well. So there is that recurring kind of relationship, right, with brands as well. However, I want to advise for those of us of anyone who's interested in content creation, who wants to pursue this. I want to be an influencer, I want to do this for a living. I would always advise and encourage for us to finish your degree first. Just study first. Whatever you're doing, just do it while you build your content. It doesn't have to be this or that. It can be it's both. It can work. You can do both at the same time. So, and that is where the discipline comes in, right? That is where, after work, let's say you're working 9 to 5, what happens after 5 p.m? What are you building? You just go home, I sleep only weekend I just rest, chill. I mean, you can, no problem, it's up to you. But if you are someone who has that passion in I want to probably build my hobbies, like my passion and whatnot. So that's where the discipline comes in. After the 5 p.m, what are you going to do at night? Are you working on your creative, what are you working on, what's your creative output, outlet? So don't choose one, just do everything, whatever you can do, just do, if you're young, you got energy, just try only.
Right. So actually you basically, if you're pursuing a degree, go on and do it. But if you are definitely interested in content, you don't need permission to do it, right? You can do it anytime, right?
Exactly. And don't overthink it. Sometimes we always what kind of videos I can do. Actually, so what helps me is that do videos that you enjoy doing. Don't think about what can go viral. Don't think about how can you make money. Think about what you like to do first. For me, I love spending time with my family. So sometimes you see my videos, right, I always document all these moments with my parents and my sisters and whatnot, and then we capture these moments. I will edit it and then those videos, those videos with my dad kind of help to get. I mean, it goes viral, but it's just what I'm naturally doing. So you don't have to, just do what is natural for you,
Right.
Don't overthink it,
Right. Do what you already are good at. So
correct.
Right,
yeah,
right.
I agree. Yeah.
Right. Okay. And did you ever have to work for free or take a pay cut just to get experience or build a brand or something?
Right. I think there's once for emceeing Right. So it was a 12 to 12 kind of 12-hour gig. I think this was during I was still an engineer. Then one event organizer came up to me and be like, "Oh, Chris, we're looking for an MC for 2 days, the full weekend, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Yeah, so I think it was 300 ringgit per day.
Okay.
So at that time I didn't really think much about it because I was, trying to build something, right? But yeah, looking back, actually 300 per day for 9 to 9 is too low already.
Oh,
it's not. It's I think even promoters, I think I'm not sure how much they earn, 100 something but for emceeing, right, you're hosting the whole day, right, at the mall, the roadshow style. Yeah, actually that was a bit, it was quite low
very low
but it's okay I just, at that time, for me, it was, it's good side income, it's a side hustle, so I had to, is where you start sometimes you just have to start. When you start, right, we cannot think so much of when you get your first job also, what's the pay, what's the gaji, I want minimum 5k, sometimes, right, there is more value than there's more value behind that amount of money, you never know, you might meet someone there that will unlock another opportunity for you. You know, there's so many hidden value and hidden luck, I like to call it.
Right. I think one reason why I'm asking a question is because, there's a very common, I'm not sure what the word is, but like, people often not joke about it, but, they frown upon some gigs where the client or customer says, I give you exposure, right? You have nothing, you want to do, I pay exposure, and it's like very frowned upon, but I'm not sure whether in reality you have a more balanced view on this or not.
I think as a start, if you are someone who is trying to put your foot in this industry, right, then I think it's okay. Because that is what's going to give you that testing ground. There's if let's say I'm working with this brand, let's say they just sponsor some products lah. At least it gives you the opportunity, because people don't know the brand give you the product only ma. Maybe what if people watch it? This guy it's a partnership with Sony, that kind of thing. So I think in terms of exposure and like free services at the beginning of your career, or you're trying to build something, I think it's okay. I think it's good to just use that as like as a test for you, give you a taste a bit lah. Then from there, build your, it's like a CV, right? You build your experience, put in your CV a bit, your profile. And then from there you start like, okay, the next client, what can I do? Maybe I should not do it for free, maybe I can go more lah. But don't do this after today. I don't actually do collaborations that only sponsor like barter system.
Right.
I try not to lah.
Right.
Because it takes a lot of time. I mean, there is a lot of effort that goes into the video as well. So I think you come to a certain point of your career where you realize that you have to. Yes, you still have to make money. You still have to earn and sustain the business. So we cannot just be like doing everything and going for all this and going for all these events and ha ha. I mean, it's not wrong for those who go, but it's just more of like, for me, I really want to focus lah. I really want to sit down and focus and do what I need to do lah.
Right. No, I'm serious. And then basically, like, of course, ideally you don't work for exposure, but if you need an example of your work, maybe that's the only way to get it. So to get to the next job, right?
Correct. Yeah, it's a very good it's a good way to build your platform. Whether it's content creation, let's say you're doing a free, whether it's or let's say emceeing as well, you're doing it for exposure. It's just for you to put yourself out there to let people know that, hey, this guy is doing this, right? And then so when you post, but you need to post on social media. I feel that it's very good. Social media now is like a very natural CV for a lot of us. Like whether you're a photographer, corporate a bit hard lah. I'm not too sure, but I've seen some corporate content as well. Very cool one. Like they record their 9 to 5, they vlog their 9 to 5. Their day, their life. So it's it's all this stuff that I'm sure they do it right, not because they want to earn money from that per se, but they're just doing it to share their life, and that they just enjoy creating this. So I think just putting taking that first step, like, it's good lah.
Right. Oh, it's interesting to say about social media is like your CV like that. Especially, I guess, if you're in the creative world, it is your CV.
It is. Yeah. So people will look at your follower number, they look at your engagement, your views, how many shares you get. So it's all these are, I think, some of the metrics that clients use or agencies use to kind of see which creator is good. I mean, brings good engagement lah.
Right. No, I love it. You know why? Because Highly, I mean, we are a recruitment platform, right? So we regularly encourage a lot of employers to have a decent social media presence. And sometimes we use the term employer branding, etc. And then not every employer can grasp this idea. But what you just said just now might work lah. Because they obviously, when they're evaluating talent, right, they're looking at their CV, right? They're looking at candidate CV.
Yeah.
So maybe if you're an employer listening to this, basically your social media page is like your CV to the talent.
It's true.
Right? The talent might go to your social media page and then they decide whether they like you or don't like you.
Correct. Because today, right, people don't really, I mean, I can Google your company no problem but you see sometimes when people ask me, hey, have you seen this company or have you seen this shop or this restaurant? what's the first thing you do? I'll go to Instagram. I will go and search the restaurant, Then I'll kind of see their vibe from it, I think it's very true. So social media today is actually it's a platform for you, you can just use. So how do you use it,
Yeah. I'm hearing increasingly more and more people, when they search for something, they may not start on Google. They might start on TikTok, Instagram, like yeah. They'll start there. It's very interesting.
Nowadays, when we plan for trips as well, you can just search on TikTok and be like, 3-day, 2-night itinerary in Shanghai. The video will come out. You just have to follow only. Right. It's crazy lah.
No, I heard this travel also. So one of our colleagues here, I think she was traveling to Japan, and then she said she did her research on TikTok. And that was very good. Why would you do your research on TikTok? And then the reason was because this was the reason given to me. It was like, because when I look at content on TikTok, I feel like it's more real than someone posted it.
Yes.
And whereas if I go to Google, let's say you might find very polished, maybe a lot of marketing.
Just words it's articles, right? But in the video itself, you can see the actual, what happened, how this person, they reviewed the place. So, I think
that is interesting.
Yeah.
That is your world. So I think this is like a
yeah. And I think for me, what's very important right now is how to continue sustaining, or how to continue building that business or the brand, so that it doesn't just die off, or it's just a trend. So that's where the balance of taking on ads and also creating your organic content comes into play. So because a lot of times, this is something that I always tell the team is like, hey, if we take one ad, if we do one ad, we need to post at least 4 organic videos.
Right.
Because I don't want, the last thing we want is that our platform to just be an ad board, right? Or like this, or everyone, another ad, another. It's not wrong, because that's the main way creators earn. So sometimes when people, let's say people comment, another ad, actually you have to understand that's how they generate income from content creation also . It's just that to kind of balance this out, it's good to not just do ad. It's good to have, that's why it's good to have organic videos as well .
Right. And as you get, I guess as your content does better, you get more followers. You're going to also start attracting negative comments. And then I'm sure not every video is going to hit some you'll miss, right?
Yeah.
How do you deal with that negative feedback? Isn't it? I always find, social media is like a double-edged sword. It's like you do well, it's amazing, but it's also a dangerous place it can be.
Yeah, because you're putting yourself out there. And I think that's just, you cannot please everybody, so that's, for me, is to understand that, there's so many people out there watching your videos, or on the internet, keyboard warriors as well. There's gonna be negative comments you just have to manage the expectations. So starting out, I've been doing this full time for about, I think 3 to 4 years already. Starting out is very hard . It's like, so you see this comment and then you'll be like, yo, should I change this? Should I change that? But I think then we have to ask ourselves, right? Like, who are these people? That do we even know them in real life? We don't. There's just some random account there. But, we take it as a learning point . So for me is, you cannot avoid all these negative comments is there. However, if your post starts getting some negative comments, I'm not saying all is negative comment, there are also positive comments, that I would say is a good sign for engaging content, because that's when conversation is happening, right? That's when there is a debate happening. Yeah, but but there are some videos I see sometimes the comments are just all negative. That means something is wrong. That means you are sharing something wrong already. Yeah, what is it? But it's up to you, right? Because if you got, this is controversial . So then of course you get more negative comments, or of course it'll be more viral . There's just going to be that thing. But for me, I cannot . I'm a people pleaser. I like to keep things more positive one. So negative comments are there . So we try to, I like to joke it off . So some people they comment something bad there, I'll just joke with them bro, don't say like that, bro, chill . I just joke back with them . So it's engagement . All this is just, it's comments .
Right. It was good that you can sort of handle it, because I think the human, I guess generally, right, human being, when you see someone say something critical of you, because your face is there, right? Literally, even though they might be talking about the content, but it's your face, right? How do you detach from it, like being about you, personally? It's hard, right? I mean,
It's hard lah. There are certain, I mean, I do have my weak points also, of like weak moments where I'm like, alamak, get a bit anxious. You start like comparing yourself with other creators. Okay, well, why that guy, his video can get so many views and all that. And some comments come in also, and then makes you think. So these comments actually start this kind of chain of thoughts, You start like comparing, You say, oh, why other people's video can do so well? Why my video getting this kind of negative comment? And then is it me? Am I gonna? And yeah, it's. I think it's very normal, very normal. But I mean, I think for me, how I handle it is just like, everywhere you go, there will be somebody who will say something. Whether you are in the office, there will be someone who doesn't agree with you. Just because you wore certain type of shoes, you will see, my boss wear like this kind of shoes. I mean, there's never, you're never gonna be 100% like making people happy. Never, any industry, somebody will sure not like you, and it's just how it is lah. So I think understanding that fact helps me kind of let go a bit. I'm like, oh, like that lor. It's like that's that person. Let that person say what they want to say lah. It's up to them. They want to comment, they comment lah. But what I notice is that sometimes when you create good content out there and you have a good, you build yourself with a good community, right? They start defending the comment, or like they other people will comment to that person, hey, how can you say this kind of things? Okay, this is someone's house, it's not your house, right? So then me and my John and myself, we just watch the show happen, we'll be like, oh, nice, there's a big debate going on, like I said that engagement,
right?
Yeah.
Do you ever post any because I know you do a lot of content, as in like stories and like different shows and stuff. Do you ever post anything personal online? Do you draw any lines?
Actually, for now, no lah. I think like a lot of my content you can see is very like raw type one, very authentic. I capture like fun moments with my family or my wife. I joke with her sometimes. Then we roast each other sometimes. I think for now there isn't really. Of course, I don't reveal my address and whatnot lah, right? Privacy and whatnot. But I think it's, for me, I just enjoy sharing this journey together, because I feel like even when sometimes when I go out and then I meet someone and then they're like, hey bro, I love your dad videos, and it's like, it just makes me feel connected to them, and they also feel like connected to me. And I don't want to be like, I don't want to be this kind of there's nothing to hide lah. You know what I mean? So for me, I feel like I'm not to say I'm sharing everything, I'm sharing this and that. It's more of like all these moments that I celebrate and that I enjoy. I think everyone can also tag along lah, and then we can celebrate together lah. That kind of feeling.
Right.
So I don't really have a line to draw.
So you're fairly authentic. Sounds like.
Oh yeah, I value this lah. Yeah.
Right. I just, by the way, like based on content, talking about content, when we did some research on content, you used to do this 1-star review thing is of food, did you?
Yeah.
How do you decide to do something like, was it difficult to do? Like, would the business owners or would they find it annoying that you are?
Right. Okay. So this is quite new actually, this 1-star review thing. Oh, it's very funny that you guys picked it up, because, so we recently started this show on YouTube called Sudu Show. So what we do is we review, not say review, it's just more like we do like blind taste tests. We have fun, it's like a game show kind of thing, me and John. So recently we did this episode of trying out 1-star review restaurants. So it is not actually, so if you really analyze the video, right, we are not making fun of the restaurant. We are not roasting the restaurant. We are actually taking that 1-star review and we are kind of seeing, hey, is this review legitimate? So what we do is we order the food that the person commented about, and then we try on the spot, and then it's like I guess you can say it's like meat busters, but for reviews.
Right.
So it's not really like I actually my producer, my manager also had a bit of a worry like, hey, isn't this making like it's not good for the restaurant, right? I said no, it's good because like you are like there are so many reviews that they were just like we felt no this is good. Why you review like that? So then we shoot back the reviewer,
Right.
So it's just some stuff that we are trying out lah, but. We saw the engagement for that video. It was not one of the better ones. So we might be doing more, like become like review busters. You never know.
I love the concept actually. Like
Yeah, go and we will find on. I mean, the team will find on Google and whatnot, find all these 1-star reviews, and then we'll go to the restaurant.
Right.
There's like nearby like Klang Valley area.
Right.
Then we will order that dish. So then we will try it out on the spot. Anyway, okay, what? Yeah. I would give like maybe 4 stars or 3 stars. It doesn't have to be 1 star.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's what I mean about sparking curiosity, right? So if you ask me if I came across a piece of content, we review 1-star restaurants, I'll be like, oh,
Yeah.
like what is this? Right? Like you're going to expect to be entertained.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, it sounds like at least you're going down the more positive angle, right? So it's like it's done in good taste lah.
Correct. So I'm not just there to roast the restaurant.
Right.
But if it's really bad, then of course we'll joke about it lah. We'll kind of roast it. But I think it's just more of like, so there was one review. If you watch the episode, there's one review. This guy, he went to his mama and then he complained about the fries. Then I'm like, bro, who goes to mama order fries lah? You order lah the Maggi goreng, order the roti canai, you know what I mean? Like, why you go order fries? Fries go McDonald's lah, stuff like that lah. So it's just fun stuff.
Right. Okay, I've got like 2 last questions.
Nice. Okay.
So it sounds like you tried different styles. You're on many different channels, right? I don't know what's the next level for you, like in terms of like content. Do you have? I'm not sure whether vision is the word or not, like, but are you? Are you going to go to movies? Like, are we? How far are we taking this?
Yeah, I think okay. So I think the ultimate dream for us right now is that we'll continue building the audience, continue creating content for a living, because I think we just want to continue having fun and doing this. So if you watch, I think one of our, like if you ask John and myself, so he's my bro lah, okay. So our big dream for Sudo on the Street is that we want to have our YouTube channel grow so big that is like a platform on its own, right? And then we continue creating all these fun game episodes and fun shows as well. And so that's the big dream lah. So I guess like continue building that following and on YouTube, not just on Instagram, so on YouTube as well. Yeah. So I think that's there are some creators we look up to in America. There's one of them is Good Mythical Morning. So we are very inspired by that channel actually. So it is like 40 in their mid 40s already. They are dads, they have families, but they are still doing this show every day. They have a big team. So yeah, I think that would be our direction lah. Yeah. So not really movies. So movies is like acting already.
Right.
So I think it's just more of like building that our platform, like continue building, getting 1 million subscribers on YouTube. Who knows, right? Yeah. That kind of level. That's our big dream lah. That
Love it.
yeah.
Love it.
But also at the same time coming from a point of gratitude, where if I tell the Chris 3 years ago where I am today, he wouldn't believe that I'm, so what we are doing already, I'm actually very content already. So I'm a very content creator. I already enjoy that joke, man. You gotta put a dad joke in there. Yeah, but so when you come from a place of like contentment, you're satisfied, but never like this, how to say, you keep learning lah, keep learning.
Right.
Keep learning and just keep growing. But yeah, that's our dream. So that what's next is hopefully our Suru show becomes like much bigger, and then we continue doing this lah.
Right.
For the next 5-10 years. Yeah.
So my last question is something that's not actually on the original list.
Oh, okay.
I was thinking about it as you were sharing your story. Right? Yeah. So if you go back and if you meet like maybe this young 20s, a Malaysian person in their 20s, and they are at the career crossroad, and they are walking on this professional path, just like you did. But then the path that they are very curious about is something that is not seen as a typical good career path for Asians or Malaysians.
Yeah, right.
What advice would you give them on how to make this decision?
I think do both. Yeah. It's never this or that. You don't have to decide on only one thing today. I think we have so much of technology today that allows you to even just start a business from your phone. And if you are curious about this other path or this other interest, right? Start exploring it. Start exploring it in your free time, on the weekends. That's where you really, it's not going to be easy. There's going to be a lot of sacrifice, but that's something that you want to achieve, right? That's something that you want to explore and build. So then you got to do it. You got to make it in your own time. So I like to tell this, it's something like I like to tell myself also. It's one day or day one, you decide. Yeah.
Oh, love it.
Yeah. So it's really, in the end, it's just you making a decision to start today, wherever you are, with whatever you have. Whether if it's content creation, if it's photography, if it's, you just want to be the MC, right? So where do you start? Even if you are looking for a new job, start with what you know first. Update your CV, You don't think so much of which company I have to apply and how am I going to resign? No, start small. Start with just start somewhere and then grow from there.
Right.
Yeah.
What was that again? Something don't be your one day.
Oh yeah. Then, okay. So this is what
I'm killing it.
Yeah. So one day or day one, you decide.
Love it. And that's a nice way to wrap up this podcast.
That's right.
One day or day one.
Yeah. Right? The one day or day one.
Thank you so much, Chris, for joining us.
Thank you, Derek.
We hope to keep watching you grow. And for those who are interested to follow your main channel, which is your main channel, he said.
Yeah, you can. You can find me on Instagram at Chris the Chindian. You can find also on YouTube Sudu on the Street. So you can connect with us there. And then we also have our house tours on Sudu on the Street on Instagram as well. So yeah, thanks guys.
All right, love it. Thanks, Chris. Thank you so much. All right, thanks for hanging out with us and getting to the end of the episode. If you like this, follow us or hit the subscribe button. It will help us bring on more amazing guests and makes the whole show better for you. So thanks again and see you in the next one.